I believe your sister and I disowned a failure like you back when you dropped out of medical school. So how come a stranger like you has come all the way out to this wedding?
Mom? Wait, I had no idea you'd be here as well. I assumed that I'd never have to see any of you guys again.
What are you talking about? Of course we'd be at an event like this. Today is Jasmine's wedding after all. And that means that only family like us has been invited to be here to celebrate, as well as some of her friends.
That's what it seems like. I was surprised to find that out when I came in. Well, for the time being, you all can just look away from me if you want and not talk to me. I would like it if we all just worked on avoiding one another while we're here.
Huh? What kind of nonsense do you think you're speaking about right now? Especially when it was you who crawled into here, trying to get close to the rest of us again. Well, I'm not going to have that when I have more important matters to be focused on today.
Wait, I didn't just sneak into this wedding, though. And I'm not here trying to get close to you all again either. I don't have any desires of being a part of your family, and I'd much prefer it if we didn't even talk anymore to one another like you had originally been doing.
What are you going on about? I can see right now that you just love to be a part of this family again. And of course, that makes complete and total sense to me considering you probably still have nothing now and could really use our money.
But I have my own life now that doesn't require any of you to be a part of it. A job of my own, a husband of my own, a family of my own.
Bull crap. I bet you don't have any of those things still and have been living to live inside a cardboard box this whole entire time. And your line of work is probably just you trying to crawl into your past family's wedding in an attempt to ruin it? Are you enjoying a sad life such as that? I know I sure would be.
Come on, I just told you that I did not sneak into this wedding.
Jasmine is feeling unpleasant about all of this now, after I pointed out that you were with some of her fiancé's family a minute ago. And of course, she's feeling unpleasant. She has to see a useless and disowned little sister of hers crawling all the way back into our wedding right now. A once-in-a-lifetime event for her. I feel so sorry. Why couldn't she have been the only girl I gave birth to, instead of having to listen to your father asking me for another one, and doing so?
You have no idea what you're talking about then if you really think I have nothing to do with this wedding.
What?
I am shocked that even after all this time, you and the rest of the family are still treating me like garbage. It's like none of you have progressed past the people you all were years ago. Don't tell me that for the past however many years, you've still been talking poorly about everyone else, all to help feed your guys' ego.
Progressed? All of you know that Jasmine has become a very amazing doctor while you've been gone. Unlike you, she never dropped out of her medical schooling. She made sure to go to all of her classes and became a praiseworthy doctor. One that's even able to care for her own mother from time to time now.
I'm aware of that. But what does that have to do with what I just said? In terms of the people you are within, none of you have progressed any. You all are quite literally just as bad as the day I was forced to leave you all.
The people are within. She became a doctor just like her father, which means she has become so much more within. Also, when it comes to Jasmine's fiancé's older brother-wife, in other words, her sister-in-law, she happens to be an active doctor who is currently working overseas as an elite.
She is? Well, that's quite amazing of her.
She is leagues ahead of someone like you. Today will be my first time ever meeting with her, and I am very much looking forward to it. And she just so happens to have the same first name as you, Claire. You both share the same first name, but everything else couldn't be more different.
I so happen to be that Claire you're talking about, though.
What?
Thank you so much for praising me like that, though, Mom. Hearing all of those things from you has really made me blush a little.
What the heck are you talking about right now? Cut it out with all those petty delusions you're having right now. There's no way a woman who dropped out of medical school could ever become a doctor afterwards.
I understand that at one point I went and stopped going to all of my classes and then dropped out. But after a while, I went back to school and am currently graduated from there. And as you are also aware of, I've been working overseas as a doctor now.
Yeah. Like I was just saying, cut it out with all those petty delusions you're having there. There is no way someone as hopeless as you could ever become anything more than a failure.
Well, if you're not going to believe any of what I'm saying, that doesn't really bother me any. I guess I'll be seeing you later then.
Take a look at the reality around you for once, please.
Hey, what are you, of all people, doing at a place like this? I never invited a complete stranger to come and join my wedding. Would you stop trying to come around the rest of us all so that you can start drama that will ruin everything for me? I'll have you know that I'm getting married to the man of my dreams today, and will not let you do anything to me when I am in every way better than you.
I already explained this to Mom, but I was invited here today by the groom and his family. If you think that I'm lying about that right now, then go and ask Lucas, please. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to clear everything up right now and not have to sit by and watch as the woman he wants to marry does something stupid.
You're going around trying to tell people that you're Will's wife, right? I heard about that from Mom, but there's no way you're Will's wife. And if that were really the truth, then why was I never told anything about it? Surely my fiancé or Will or somebody from his family would have told me that before, right?
I have been overseas with Will this whole time, so it kind of makes sense why you wouldn't know anything about me. After all, today is yours and Mom's first time meeting with Will as well, right? Can you say what Will's wife's name is for me?
Her name is Claire, right? But I know that she is not you, and nothing is going to make me think otherwise. I know that you're only here right now after sneaking in, all because you want to try and get back into our family, right? Well, look, that right there just goes to show you that you really are a total loser that none of us want back.
Stop talking like that and go have a word with Lucas about this. I'm telling you, when you ask him about who I am, he'll say the exact same things I've been saying.
Sure. I'll go ahead and ask him about you. Hold on a second. What the hell is going on here? So you're really the Claire that is Will's wife?
That's what I've been trying to tell you this whole time.
I'm in shock. How could a completely hopeless woman like you have become the Claire they call a doctor? That crybaby you once were is a doctor now?
The only reason I was having to cry all the time like a baby is because of the amount of crap I was being given by all of you, treated like a total failure for no good reason.
You're lying. I can't believe this. Because what? That would mean that...
In my case, I never thought that the woman Lucas would be getting married to today would turn out to be you. When I saw you and Mom in the venue like that, I was surprised too. Very surprised.
Well, at least... it's not like you being married to Will changes anything between Lucas and I. And you still are going to be seen as a loser who had dropped out of medical school one time like a failure. I graduated from my school with high scores, and am now a very amazing doctor who is walking a very happy path. You will never be as good as me, no matter how hard you try.
Is that right? Just like the good old days, you still have that massive pride, don't you? I was really thinking we had a chance of making up and getting back together as sisters again.
Who the hell would want to get back together with you again as sisters? You and I cut ties to one another a while ago, so there's not even a reason for me to be talking with you anymore. Get the out of here and go back to whatever country you came from.
All right. I understand what you want, Jasmine.
Goodbye forever. What the hell is going on here, Mom? What the hell did you mean with what you just did there?
What? I had to make sure to tell everyone here as soon as possible about Claire. About how a loser like her crawled into this wedding uninvited, after we had all called ties to her before.
But you don't just say something like that about her over the speaker at my wedding.
What's wrong with what I did? The only people that are here are all successful people, right? I wanted to let them know about her now, before she went and did something to embarrass my sweet little girl.
But what you just did was more embarrassing than anything that she would have possibly done.
What are you saying? I did all of that for the sake of you, didn't I?
Are you done talking now, Mom? Claire is legitly Will's wife, all right?
What?
And she was invited to this wedding by Lucas and all of his family. But you just went and took the mic off the stand and told everyone that she's a loser and everything. Do you have any idea what's going to happen now to us?
What are you going on about now, Jasmine? There is no way that failure could possibly be his wife. You were laughing before about how delusional she is when I came and told you, right?
Well, I went and confirmed that stuff with Lucas. And he told me she wasn't being delusional at all, because she really is his sister-in-law. I was shocked at the time I heard that from him.
What? So she's really Will's wife? Hold on a minute. Then I just did something very, very bad.
You sure as hell did, Mom. You get back on that mic and take back everything you said about her right now.
Oh, I'll go do that right now. Wait, what?
Mom? Wait, what's going on over there?
Are you doing all right, Jasmine? I can see that the wedding has been stopped for the time being, but...
Huh? Things are not at all fine right now. Because of that crap Mom just pulled over the speakers, all of my fiancé's family has...
I'm sure they're all very much upset with how that played out now. Calling a member of their family a loser and a failure like Mom did was surely not the right way to introduce the real woman that she is to everyone.
You come out here right now and fix all of this confusion for us. Everything is going to hell for me right now.
Why would the victim of all that harassment want to go out there and try to convince everyone that what Mom was saying wasn't really true? And what is this confusion? From what I've noticed, there isn't a hint of confusion amongst the crowd. Actually, from what most people are saying, they want to know what's going to happen with you and Lucas now.
What?
I might have to clear some things up first by saying what I'd like to say about you all next. Like how you guys would intentionally get in my way when I was trying to study for my exams, taking my notes and things away from me that I'd taken during class, putting medications in my food to put me to sleep before my tests, and about how you would all make fun of me, calling me hopeless and a nobody whenever I didn't do well at all in school.
Wait, that was all? I was just doing all of that because I'm your older sister and wanted to just pick on you a little.
Calling all of that nothing more than you just picking on me is a bit... I know what this was all about. You and Mom hated the idea of your little sister becoming a doctor before you could, right? In order to make yourself look the best, you went and turned me into this loser doing all of those horrible things to me.
You hold it right there. What the hell are you blabbering on about right now? You take all those lies about me back right now.
I suppose some of those things I can't be all too certain about. But you have to admit that you did go and hide a lot of my notes back then, and that you did go and put medications in my food that would make me pass out.
What?
You just told me a second ago that all of those things were just you picking on me as my older sister, right? You never said anything against what I'd said immediately, therefore you were agreeing that you had indeed done those things. I didn't even have any evidence of you doing those things, yet you agreed to what I was saying. Way to go.
Wait, hold on. You stop that. That was dirty. You just set me up like that, didn't you?
I wasn't trying to set you up or anything there. You just happened to agree and acknowledge what I was saying you'd done. I kind of figured you were behind most of those things back then, but I couldn't be too sure, right? Thankfully, I have you confessing to those things now, and there's nothing you can do to talk your way out of it now.
All right, already. I will take responsibility for all those things as long as you just shut up about it. I'm sorry for what happened then. I was just doing all those things as a way of messing with you, and I didn't mean to cause any harm. All of that is in the far past now, though, so just forget about it all now.
I'm sorry, but there has to be a reason for us running into one another again like this. And considering I might never have a chance at this again, allow me to take my turn. I need to explain to everyone what happened between myself and you guys.
Wait! Claire, did you go and prepare a script or something for that? Because the way you went out and spoke about Mom and I was way too perfect.
Not at all, actually, but thank you for complimenting my speech to everyone. I didn't think I'd even be running into you guys today, so there was no way for me to prepare for this. Just after all that I had been through with you both, the things that I wanted to say so badly about you just came out and sounded good. I guess everything had been stored up somewhere in the back of my head for a moment like this.
What the hell? You made it seem like you were having fun making fun of me out there. Today was my once-in-a-lifetime wedding, though. Why the hell does my wedding and everything have to go to crap like this now?
Perhaps this all happened because on this once-in-a-lifetime day of yours, you decided to focus on making fun of me instead of paying attention to your guests.
And I told you already that it was just Mom and I picking on you a little, and that's something everyone should have known about. What the hell do you think you're doing talking about all the things that were private family matters in front of everyone today?
Family matters? But you all went and cut ties to me already, correct? You and Mom are no longer family to me, making all of that more than just family matters.
Wait. You stop it with all that far-fetched logic, all right?
I'm sorry, but nothing about that was far-fetched. I was told by both of you that a complete stranger like me was never invited to your wedding today.
Damn it! You're really getting on my nerves now. I am fed up now with all of your bullcrap arguments.
So any kind of an argument that you don't agree with becomes a far-fetched argument then. Well, you were always that way from the very beginning, Jasmine. No matter what, it was all about you. And anything that wasn't the way you wanted it to be couldn't stand without you tearing it down. And that's why even today you're picking on me like you did when you were younger, right?
Shut the hell up! Either way, it's all because of you that my wedding today has gone to hell. I'm going to make you pay for all of this.
Claire, what the hell are you trying to do? Now Jasmine and Lucas' wedding are going to be completely cancelled because of you.
Is that right?
All you have to say is that? Do you not feel responsible for any of this?
Not at all, actually. Because I didn't do anything wrong.
Bullcrap! You went out in front of everyone and made that speech about all the things Jasmine and I have done to you, though.
And you did the same thing before me, taking the mic and claiming I had snuck into the wedding and was a complete failure, right? I just wanted to clarify a few things with everyone was all. You were the one that challenged me first, all right?
What? How dare you claim that someone challenged you, or you challenged someone else at a wedding of all places? None of us are children here.
You think you have the right to call yourself anything besides a child right now, though? How wild, Mom. Well, from what Will had to tell me, Jasmine was always talking down to others in the same way you've been. He also told me about how a lot of her patients would complain about the way she talked to and treated them. And that is why you can't blame the canceling of today's wedding solely on what happened today, as there was already a problem forming beforehand.
But had you not done what you did today, then those two would be getting married. I don't care if they ended up divorcing after that. The only thing that matters to me in this family is that we get married to a family of elites like Lucas's family.
So what you're telling me is your daughter's wedding and her marriage isn't really about her love with her fiancé? So you really do only see your kids as nothing more than tools in which to improve your very own status.
This world is based around people's status. And things that don't have a large status rot on the ground below us. And those that cannot come to grasp with what's on the floor itself being trampled on by everyone.
Is that so? Then that would mean you were the first in the family to become one rotting on said floor.
What?
Because you're either a doctor or anyone of equal status, right? Dad was a doctor for sure, but he's not around anymore. All you are is a nobody who wants to use her daughter's status as a doctor to lift herself up.
No, it's because of me that you were both able to become doctors in the first place.
What? Are you serious? No way that's true. I only became one after looking at Dad and thinking that someday I'd want to save people's lives as well. I know that he passed away when I was still pretty young, but even now I can see him in his coat getting ready to leave and save lives every morning. All you ever did was scold me by saying I had no choice but to become a doctor.
What the hell is that? Who was it that paid for you to go to medical school then?
I believe that was Dad's money that he left me after he passed away, correct? And you're in the same boat as Jasmine and I, only being able to do anything because of that money he left us. Dad happened to have a hospital of his own, and there he had saved up a lot of money to make sure we were able to go to school.
And it was me who managed that money after he had died. I played a part in your guys' future, right?
You managed his money? I believe you meant to say you used up all of his money. And thanks to that, most of what he left for you was gone before we even graduated from medical school. Currently, you're having to live off the scraps from his money, but also off whatever Jasmine is making, right?
You... Who do you think you're talking to, your mother with a mouth like that? If it wasn't for me, you would have never been born, right? Both you and Jasmine should be thanking me for what I've done more than anything else.
How trivial this has become. I thought you told me you had disowned me before and that I was no longer a part of your family. Yet now, of all times, you're saying what again?
Shut the hell up right now. Either way you try and twist things, all of this was your fault. It's all your fault that even Jasmine is upset with me.
I don't really care, though. All I did today was come to my brother-in-law's wedding. Besides that, I didn't do a single thing else. You both just decided to blow yourselves up on a day like this.
You... Excuse me, Jasmine. Are you really going to give up on marrying Lucas now? If you were just to go up to him and apologize with all your heart, I'm sure he'd take you still. Shut the freaking hell up, you bitch. The reason all of this happened to me is because of you, right? I'm going to cut ties to you now, Mom, so don't you ever talk to me again. Wait a second. You have this all wrong. I just happened to make a simple mistake was all. And you can forget about getting any more money from me each month, because I'm stopping that. How about you try getting off your ass for once and making a living? Why, Jasmine, you were such once an obedient child, right? I only ever wanted to care for you and love you like the precious little girl you've been to me. And so the hell what? I made sure to send you money every month for the past 3 years, right? I think that I've paid you back for all you've done by now. Goodbye forever. Wait, I was doing all of that for your sake, though. Oh, you were? Well then, if everything you done was all for me, give me all that money I gave you back right now. Instead of me getting a settlement from you. What? If you've only ever thought about me, then you should be able to do that no problem, right? I'm being asked to pay for this whole wreck of a wedding right now. Wait, but that's a little bit too... If you can't do that for me, then screw off, you hypocrite. Either way, I'm not going to talk to you ever again anyway. I'm blocking you right now, so go to hell. Wait a second.
Mom, just act like an adult for once and come back here. Trying to run from the police like that is impossible. They're just going to be forced to taser you and then arrest you in a worse state.
But I have to, because I never wanted things to turn out like this. I was just trying to explain everything to Lucas.
By tailing his car all the way back to his place and then jumping him from behind?
I had to do something to get him to forgive Jasmine and I for what happened. I've already lost Jasmine now. If she doesn't come back to me, I'm not going to be able to survive on my own.
So you're really going to make everything about yourself until the very end. Unfortunately, due to the things you did to Lucas, you really have put an end to your life.
Shut the hell up. I did not do anything wrong. Remember that all of this started to happen because of you. Why the hell do you think you can just go around smiling all the time like that when this is happening to us?
I've heard you blame me so many times like that now that it's time for me to block your number like Jasmine did. But before I do, I am telling you one last time to stop running off like that and come back here to face your punishment.
You're going to block me now too? What? What am I going to do, Claire? I've already been blocked by the last person who used to care about me, and there's nothing left for me in this world now. I'm going to be forced to pay even more money now, and might have to go to prison for what I done, so running away is the only choice I have left.
All right. Go ahead and keep running then. I'm going to block you now anyway.
Hold on a second, Claire. I really am sorry for the way I treated you ever since little, making you feel like a loser. I never thought that someday you'd actually become such an amazing person.
I really don't matter to your situation anymore, all right? All I'd ever wanted was to be loved by you, yet that never happened. Some could say that I left the family before you ever even came around to kick me out.
I get it already. I'll show you that love right now, okay? I don't need Jasmine anymore, just as long as I can have you by my side.
What a frickin' bitch.
Huh? How dare you say that about your mother?
Mother? Jesus Christ, I already told you before that you are not my mom. And right after that, I went ahead and blocked my mom's number before deleting her contact off my phone for good. Ever since then, she has not once been able to call me or text me. Eventually, my mom ran out of places to run and hide. And before she could make another break from the police, they hit her with a taser, dropping her on the spot. She would be asked to pay a settlement to Lucas and his family after she had come up from behind him and hit him with her purse in the head, knocking him out. Actually, it turns out that my mom had a handgun in her purse. When she'd gone to the wedding, for some reason, nobody to this day had an answer for, but when she hit Lucas in the head, the weight went and took him down. He would later have to be taken to the very hospital he would normally be working at, and there get an X-ray and an MRI to make sure everything in his head was good. But with him having suffered a pretty decent skull fracture and a concussion, as well as a terrible gash, he would need staples and a few weeks of rest. Considering Mom had no money left from her husband and no longer had a daughter to milk for money, she was forced to go into debt in order to pay everything off. I believe it was around $123,000 in total she was sued for, and that is for sure not a small amount at all for someone like her. She would then have to go back to court again after being placed under house arrest for a week. And that time, she had to hear about how she was being charged with aggravated assault, evading the police, and with carrying an unregistered handgun in her purse. The charges would end up putting her behind bars for 1.5 years, and during her time there, she sure did get into lots of trouble with the other inmates. She would then get out of there, but during that whole time, she never had anyone who was able to start paying off her debt, which means relations only soured on that end. As of right now, I've been told that she's on the run again, but this time not from the police or anyone like that, but from the loan sharks she hasn't started to pay back. She had lost her house during that time in prison thanks to not being able to pay the bills on the place, as well as her car, which was put into the pound a year before by the police and then sold this year. She really is useless at everything but running from people, and even then she can only make it so far before having to give up. I really am so happy that a woman like that went and disowned me back in the day, because I'd hate to have to call myself her daughter now. I haven't really spoken with my older sister anymore ever since the wedding, but I'm sure that in her mind she's regretting ever letting herself fall into my mom's trap of making an enemy out of me and letting herself be leeched on by my mom. The last I heard of where my sister went after her trashed wedding day was to a new hospital on the other side of the country, where she's making only half of what she'd made at her previous job and is living in an even smaller apartment as well.
Hey, I was told that your mom is on the verge of death right now. Are you serious? Will she be okay?
Lynn, thank you for texting me about this. I think this is going to be it for my mom soon. Really, it's up to her strength now to gauge whether she'll make it a few more days or only a few more hours. And as for my family, we're all very shocked that her condition became this bad overnight.
So you weren't kidding. Well, that won't cause any issues for my wedding, will it?
Huh?
I've only met with your mom a handful of times while I've been your sister-in-law, so to me, there really isn't anything about her passing that'll bother me. But my wedding is going to be this weekend, right? So her being close to passing away won't cause the wedding any problems, right?
Lynn, what you're talking about right now isn't my biggest concern, okay? Right now, my mom is really in bad shape and things aren't looking good for her. So you saying that her passing won't bother you and talking about how it shouldn't affect your wedding is a bit...
Sorry. I'm a blunt person and I never lie or hide my true feelings. And I just think it'd be a huge shame if what's going on with your mom somehow affected my wedding in a bad way. Actually, her dying right now is a big bother for me.
It's not necessary for you to say things like that right now. And it's not like my mom is wanting to pass away on a day close to your wedding that might cause some issues, so could you stop talking about her like that?
Well, it doesn't matter to me. Just as long as my wedding is the main focus for my family, as it should be. So make sure her death doesn't get in the way of it. Tell her to hang on a little longer until after the wedding's over, and then she can die.
I want her to keep holding on for as long as possible, too. But telling me things like that are not going to change how her condition goes.
Why not?
Why not?
She's your mom, right? You should be able to handle her. So make sure that she stays alive and keeps her dying away from my wedding.
Do you really think I can find a way to keep her alive any longer than she's willing to fight for? There's just no way, Lynn.
I know that. It was just a joke.
Well, that didn't seem like a joke to me, and it's crazy to think that you'd be joking about things like that right now. I'm not having a great time talking to you anymore, Lynn.
Well, just remember to keep things to yourselves for right now so that it doesn't ruin my special day. It's a real pain to have to think about that, so do your best.
How am I supposed to do my best when my mom is dying? And asking for it to not cause any trouble or ruin your wedding? Can't you at least consider my feelings a bit more and say things like that in a nicer way?
Huh? In a nicer way? I'm sorry for your loss.
She hasn't died yet, though. You can stop trying to text me now, okay? I am not able to handle any more of your rude and thoughtless texts now. I'm just not in the mood to put up with you, as I have so many more important things to worry about.
What? What are you going on about now? You're calling me rude now? Calling me rude like that makes you the rude one, for real.
If I have anything else I need to say to you, I'll contact you. Thank you for this short and unfortunate conversation we had. And goodbye. I believe you've already heard the news from Garrett, but today's the day of my mom's funeral, so I won't be making it to your wedding. I'm sorry that I won't be there to see you, but I hope you have a wonderful wedding today.
Huh? You're kidding me, right?
Huh?
What do you think you're doing canceling on my wedding when it's only a couple hours away? This is unthinkable of you.
Huh? What do you mean? You were told all of this by your brother yesterday, weren't you? I even sent you a message the moment she passed to tell you about it.
Well, I never noticed anything from you guys. And why would I have cared then when it had nothing to do with my wedding?
Well, I'm sorry, but that's on you, Lynn. We were kind enough to send you a message warning you, and you never bothered to read them.
Do you think you can just use that poor excuse to get out of coming to my wedding now? There's no freaking way you'd cancel on coming to your younger sister-in-law's wedding like that, right? Are you trying to screw with me now?
I'm not trying to screw with you in any way, okay? I'm sorry that this all happened so close to your wedding, but we told you about this yesterday, so you should have already known to expect this. Just know that I am not going to make it today, but have a great time on your special day.
Your mom? She's a serious piece of garbage.
What?
That must mean that my brother's not coming now either, right? This is absolutely crazy, but I remember coming to your wedding when you both had one and bringing all sorts of gifts for you two.
I remember you gave us $30 as a wedding gift, right?
This isn't about the amount of money that I gave you.
But you said that like you gave a lot.
Well, I'm not going to forgive you now. You guys canceling on coming to my wedding is a huge problem for me. Who gives a crap that another grandma has died off? Seriously. Canceling on the day of your family's wedding is screwed up. Big time.
You're going to talk to me like that when my mom only just died?
Who cares about your mom? I'm pissed off now because of you. If you feel that you really want to skip my special day, then pay me $10,000 for both your guys' seats.
What? $10,000?
That's what it costs to cancel last minute. If you don't want to pay me that, then get your butt over here.
I am my mom's only daughter, so I will not leave her without a funeral. I need time to say my final goodbyes to her and thank her for all she's done.
Then I'm going to need that $10,000, okay?
Do you think I actually need to pay you that much? Calm down a little bit, Lynn. I myself am getting to the edge of my limits.
Well, I'm just telling you how much it costs to cancel last minute. It's pretty obvious that you're supposed to care more about my wedding than some elderly woman's funeral, right? But if you really want to flake on me, then I want the $10,000 as a cancellation fee. Ha!
Can I pay it directly to your account?
If you do, then I'll forgive you.
All right, then.
Huh? Are you sure? Well, then I'm totally fine with you not coming to my wedding. $10,000 is a huge win. I never thought that I'd actually get you to pay me that much money.
But in return for that, I'm going to be canceling your whole wedding, okay?
Huh?
I may be giving you $10,000, but the cost of your wedding being canceled will be even higher than that. But you'll be able to pay for that, right?
What are you talking about? What does all that mean?
It looks to me like you've forgotten, but the person that planned out and reserved your wedding was me. And I can cancel all that wedding in one simple phone call right now. And the price of that whole wedding is $80,000. So you'll have to pay a large amount of that if the wedding's canceled, right?
Huh? $80,000? What are you going on about? I could never pay that kind of money.
Right? And that's why I assume you'd pay for it with whatever money you'd gotten from the family and your partner. But if you want me to pay you $10,000 right now, that'll come out of the money I planned to give you, and I'll be forced to cancel your wedding. You asked to pick a fight with me, and that right there is my defense.
Huh? Do you actually believe that you can do that?
Well, I was the one that planned and reserved the wedding for you. But if you're going to treat my mom and I the way you have been, then I have no other choice but to take that away, which I was kind enough to help get you. I don't even care if that ends up ruining things with you and your partner. I have a funeral to get to for my very important mom today.
Why do you keep on going on like that? You can't do any of that to me. You will never find a way to cancel my wedding without having my permission first. This is my big moment today. It's your fault for canceling last minute. So, why should my wedding be canceled because of your problems? What did I do to deserve any of that?
You never looked at any of the messages your brother and I sent you and then became pissed off with me when I told you I can't come today because of my mom's funeral. And then you proceeded to make fun of my mother and I, followed by you asking me to pay you a massive fee for not coming. I think I have the right to be extremely upset with you right now, Lynn. I'm the one that just lost the most important woman in my life.
I didn't think you'd get that upset with me, though. But you can't just cancel this wedding on me like that when it's my biggest day.
I can, though.
What?
The whole reason I was so kind in reserving the wedding and preparing it for you is because it's part of my job. And as the one that plans out weddings, I can also cancel them at any time.
Huh? Don't do that crap. Seriously, Sarah. You know that that's a bad decision right there. This is my wedding. Your sister-in-law's wedding.
But you pushed me to my limits, and actually over them.
I told you that my mom had passed away yesterday and that today's her funeral, but you haven't said one thing showing your sympathies for me. Instead, you've just been harassing me because of it, which is wild because you had met with my mom a few times now. But I guess that wasn't enough for you to feel any sort of remorse after her passing.
Sorry about that. But I didn't mean to be rude to you or anything. I didn't think things would have to come to this with you. Must be tough for you, Sarah. Sorry again for the loss of your mom.
I just remembered now that you already told me that when my mom hadn't even died yet and was still in critical condition.
I did?
And now that I've remembered that, I'm only getting more pissed. You have no right saying that to me a second time now. I am done with you. And all that you've said to me these past few days has all been told to your brother. And he was pissed back then, but now he's furious as well.
Huh? You told my brother? Why would you tell him all that useless stuff? This is something between you and I, so there's no need bringing it up with him.
He's saying that he never wants to be around you again.
Huh? Why the hell is he saying that? My brother would never say something like that about his little sister.
It's the truth. But hey, I've always kind of hated being around you, so this is all perfect. I think that after showing just how rotten to the core you are, we can't be bothered with being your family. And I'm sure that when everyone else hears about this, there will be no problem with me canceling your wedding. Even my husband is saying it's okay for me to do that, all right?
There's no way. Are you seriously telling me that my own brother said things like that? There is no literal way. You're lying. You're just trying to get me to panic now that you have to pay me $10,000. Stop all that childish crap. It's a pain in my butt.
Pain in your butt? Well, if that's what you think. If you think this is all a lie, then why not ask your brother now what he's thinking? Your brother was cared for by my mom very well, and he was like another son to her. He was so close to her that I'm sure his frustrations with you are justified. I mean, when I first showed him what you said a few days ago about my mom, he spit out his drink.
He was that surprised. What did I do to cause that?
You didn't bother to read the atmosphere, instead saying things that only revolved around you and your stupid wedding. And neither of us are willing to be around people as selfish as you anymore. We've gone and told your parents about this as well now.
What? Why are you telling everyone? Are you trying to make rumors spread about me? I just said one or two rude things is all to you. Canceling my wedding because you couldn't take what I said is outrageous. And this isn't just my wedding, but my husband's as well.
Well, if you are so upset over this, then maybe you should have been more careful when speaking with the person that put the whole wedding together for you. I did all of that work, not just as my job, but also because I thought of you as my little sister. You had been wanting to have your wedding for years now at the place I reserved for you. And I had to put in a lot of good words about you to get you a spot for today.
I'm sorry. I guess I was being a bit too rude. So please, Sarah, forgive me for that.
Well, it's too late now to ask me not to cancel it, because even if I don't, it looks like others will do it for me.
Huh? What do you mean this time?
Your parents are fuming right now. My mom only just passed away yesterday, but you made it very clear about how much you don't care about her or I, right? And not just that, but asked me to pay you if I chose to be at my mom's funeral instead of at your wedding. We are all very much done with you, Lynn, and I mean all of us.
But if you were to never have canceled on me, then everyone would be okay with me, right? So that means exactly what I think it means. This is all your fault.
No point in trying to blame me now for this. Everyone has seen how you've acted, and so regardless of me coming to your wedding or not, it was either going to be canceled or sometime down the road your husband would be divorcing you.
Huh?
Well, either way, I'm not going to be around to watch you go down. I'm no longer going to think of you as my family, and I don't have the emotional capacity to worry about a random stranger. And your brother is also cutting ties with you now, so you won't mind me saying bye now, right? Goodbye forever, you piece of garbage. I think you're going to have to pay off all the cancellation fees, okay?
In the end, just as I had mentioned to Lynn, all her family sided with me, and I was able to cancel her wedding before she could even show off her dress. And as for her husband, he had seen enough of her. Lynn was then left having to pay the full cancellation fee for the wedding, but was under the impression that she could get me to pay some of it. But of course that wasn't going to fly with me, and so I told her to screw off and deal with it all herself. She continued to try and get my husband and I to help her by calling over and over again. But we were both in the middle of my mom's funeral, so we both chose to block her number. Lynn really did end up being hated by everyone, including her own husband. And not only a week after they had handed in their marriage papers, her husband was filling out papers for divorce. She may still try to blame me and everyone else for this happening to her, but she's the only one having to go through a divorce and pay close to $80,000.
Do you know that you're such a loser? I mean, you are already 42 years old. You don't have any kids, and you're not even married. You're a total failure. I mean, don't you still live at your home with our parents? I can't believe that you're the older sister, and yet, compared to your, me, younger sister, you're a complete loser. All you do is stay at all home all day and live off our parents' hard-earned money while you don't contribute anything at all. How can you even live with yourself when that's your life? Don't you think that that's just totally pathetic? You really are useless, you know that.
Joanne, it had been so long since I last heard from you that I was beginning to hope that you had finally given up on ever wanting to talk to me again. But I guess you were just waiting to come at me with a whole slew of new insults, weren't you? I guess I can't really say that I'm surprised at you for doing this, though. But it's okay, because that means that I can't say that I didn't see it coming either. So if this is all you have to say to me, I hope we can make this quick.
Aw, poor little loser. Did you really think that you could get rid of me that easily? You think that just because you're single that your little sister would forget all about you? Don't you worry. I was thinking for so long about how sad and lonely and pathetic you must feel about yourself all the time. Not only that, but unlike you, I've been very, very busy raising my children, something that you are never, ever going to have to do in a million years because you can't have kids.
Is that what you've been busy with? Well, I guess you deserved this little break to insult me then, didn't you?
Even through text, I can almost see you shaking with rage as you type the last message. You make it way too easy to get under your skin. Do you know that?
No, it's not that. It's just that I really don't have time to waste on you if all you're going to do is talk down to me.
Well, then don't you worry, because that isn't the only thing that I wanted to talk to you about. The thing is that my family and I are thinking of moving back into my parents' house. So what do you think about that, huh?
Hold on a second. All of you are going to come and live here again? Why? What happened to bring this on all of a sudden? Do you seriously think that you can just show up at the house unannounced and move in because you say so? Because that is not how that is going to work. Do you understand me?
Oh, come on now. You make it sound like I'm being some kind of completely unreasonable monster for something like that. The truth is that I'm actually about to have my 5th child. Pretty amazing, don't you think? Do you even know anyone who has 5 kids? I seriously doubt it. It's almost ironic, isn't it? I get all the kids while you get none. Sometimes the universe just likes to play cruel little jokes on the losers in this world, huh? But anyways, I'm telling you this so that you know that it's time for you to pack up your bags and leave now.
Oh, well, congratulations on the 5th child then. I guess some kind of celebration should be in order or something, right? And your husband must be happy since this is the first child that you're having with him. Isn't that right?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? It's fine. You don't have to answer that. It's clear that you're just jealous and trying to rain on my parade is all.
And aren't I allowed to do that after the way that you've treated me over the years? Why are you the only one that gets to insult me? Besides, you're the one who thinks that you can kick me out of the house just because you're having another child.
Well, that's exactly right. This is going to be my 5th child, so it's important that my husband and I have enough space for everyone to run around. And since you're not going to be pumping out any kids anytime soon, you can go ahead and just move out, you fat, ugly cow.
There you go again, thinking that you can give me orders while you insult me. Just what makes you think that I'm going to listen to you if you treat me like this?
Do you really think that I'm just going to bend over backwards to give you whatever it is that you want? That isn't going to happen. Just because I'm not married and don't have any kids doesn't mean that I don't have a role to play in this house. I mean, you do realize that I'm the one taking care of our parents, don't you? Do you really think that you and your husband taking care of all 5 of your kids are going to be able to give mom and dad the care they need at their age? And do you really think that mom and dad are going to go along with kicking out me, their live-in nurse, just so that you can invade their home? I mean, all that is going to do is make so much more work for them. I bet you were hoping that you would get to use mom and dad as a free babysitting service, right? Well, I can tell you right now that they don't want that at all, and you're being delusional if you think that's what's going on.
Whoa, you must be really thinking that the world revolves around your lonely, childless self, don't you? How dare you think that you can tell me what I can and can't do? And how dare you try and speak for our parents too?
I'm trying to speak for anyone but myself, but the fact of the matter is that I've been living here for years and I am much more in tune with what our parents want than you are.
You're always like that. You always think that just because you're the older sister that you can boss me around as if we're kids or something like that. Do you not understand that I'm literally pregnant with my 5th child right now? I'm ready to burst any moment now, basically. How dare you try and turn away a poor mother just wanting a home for her children and family, all so that you can continue not to pay any rest at all?
I didn't ever say anything about being the older sister at all. You were the one who brought that up right now. What are you even talking about?
There you go again, making excuses and trying to take back what you said as if you didn't already say it. But let's just go over the facts of matter at hand here. I have 5 kids and you have none. I have had 3 husbands and you have had none. So basically, that makes me the better daughter of the 2 of us. And that means that you need to give up the house to me right now.
I don't even know if you're reading the messages that I'm sending you anymore, but you are clearly just deluded if you think any of what you're saying means anything. All I'm saying is that if you show up to mom and dad's place one day with all your kids and your husband in tow, that they are not going to be happy with you. Why are you so intent on being a burden to our parents when they're this old already?
You still just don't get it at all, do you? Then again, I guess a single barren shrew like you couldn't get it really.
What don't I get? What on earth could you possibly be talking about now?
The only person who's here is causing any trouble for our parents. The only person holding them back, ruining their retirement, and ruining their lives is you, Amy. You're nothing but a parasite in that house, and you're literally sucking the life out of mom and dad before their very eyes. I can see it clearly as they too. But you're the one deluding that yourself, you're just helping them. But the truth is that you're the one that's bad here, not me. I'm just trying to do what's best for my family. Don't you get that?
You know, Joanne, I am sure that you are the only person who feels that way about me. Because I am sure that if you went and asked mom and dad, they would not call me a parasite.
Are you really sure about that? Is that the case? Or is it just that they're too sweet to hurt your feelings and too feeble to realize what is it that you're doing to them? You really think that they enjoy having their eldest daughter unmarried and childless around them all the time? You really need to grow up and face the facts.
How dare you tell me not to speak for mom and dad when you are pretending to know what they're thinking and keeping inside them? I have no idea where you are getting any of these ideas from, but I am just getting sick and tired of you treating me like this.
Well, it's only going to get worse for you because all of our bags are packed here and we are going to be headed over to the house tomorrow.
Hold on a second. You all are going to be arriving here tomorrow? But there's not even a room here ready for one guest, let alone a whole family like yours.
Well, then I guess you had better make sure that there is by the time we get there, or else things are going to get much worse for you, I can assure you that. And don't forget to pack your bags too, because we are not going to be sharing that house with someone like you. Do you understand me?
Why do you always have to talk to me like this? Why can't we ever just have a nice, polite conversation where you don't insult me with every other message that you send, huh?
I wouldn't have to insult all the time if you would just shut up and listen to me like you ought to. Anyways, I've told you our schedule. You better make sure that everything is ready for us by the time we get there, or else. Got it?
Joanne, I am trying to tell you that this is not going to work out. You and your family can't come and live here. Are you even reading any of these messages? I am telling you that you can't come and live here.
Well, you finally forced our hand, Amy. You weren't moving out even though we gave you more than enough warning. So I took it up upon myself to gather up all your belongings around the house and get rid of them all. Now the house is finally free of your presence and we can live here comfortably.
Excuse me? You did what? Did you really gather up my things and get rid of them? Why would you do that? What is the matter with you?
I already told you why I did it. We told you to move out. You didn't listen to us. You didn't give me any other choice. Don't you realize that? Hopefully now you realize that I was being serious and you'll move out like I told you in the first place.
You do realize that you've already pushed out our own parents out of their house too, don't you? When you showed up with all your kids and your husband, you put way too much on Mom and Dad's plate all at once. You put the house into such chaos that I couldn't even do the things I normally would to take care of them.
And just whose fault is that for not thinking of a solution to that problem before we all showed up? I don't understand why you would even bother to ask for help when you know that I'm already too busy with all my kids.
Well, that's fine, but why even come here and live in the house if you aren't going to help take care of it, or Mom and Dad who were already living here, huh?
How dare you try and talk to me like that when you're nothing but a filthy little parasite? You don't get to talk to me or boss me around. If anything, you should be apologizing to me for still even being in the house. It's all your fault that things aren't going well because you didn't listen to me when I tried to warn you that we're coming. And I know that Mom and Dad are more than happy that we're all here with them right now. Are you really telling me that they would rather live with just you over being so close to all of their grandchildren? No way.
Look, I am telling you that Mom has told me that she is really upset that you all just showed up here one day and decided that you were going to be living here, okay?
And I'm telling you that I don't buy a word of that, okay? You're nothing but a parasite and I'm not going to listen or take orders from you. I mean, you aren't married and you don't have any kids, so what do you know about living together with a family, huh? Maybe you should just have learned from my example and follow my path. But you didn't. And now, look at you. You're lonely, pathetic, and worst of all, you don't have any children at all. I have 5 kids. That makes me 5 times the daughter that you are. Got it? You're just an ugly, unwanted little nobody who is never ever going to be loved by anyone. So why don't you just leave the house already? The only ones who are going to have to leave the house are you, your husband, and all your little kids too. And just how are you going to make us do that, huh? Are you really going to ruin how happy we've made by being here all because you're upset that I've taken your place in the house? You stupid little ingrate. This is your mother speaking to you right now. Wait, what? What do you mean? Mom, is that really you? Are you texting me from Amy's phone? Oh, that's right. And Amy has shown me all of the horrible messages that you've been sending her, which means that I have seen all the cruel insults that you've been hurting at her too. Did you really think that any of this was okay? You know that I can't let you get away with this, don't you? I want you and your family to pack your things and get ready to leave. I'm going to call a friend who owns a truck and he'll move you back into your house. Wait, hold on, Mom. Are you serious about this? You aren't really just going to kick us out of here, are you? I mean, we just moved in and settled down. Besides, I thought that you would have been happy to be living with your favorite daughter and near all of your grandkids too. Of course I'm serious. I mean, did you really think that you could just barge in here and suddenly announce that you're going to be living here? Don't you think that I can't even walk properly? Your sister has here been helping me around and do things around the house this whole time. But now I can hardly even hear myself think, much less move around freely with all these people in my house. Please, You've got to be kidding me, right? This is some kind of joke. You're not really Mom. It's just Amy pretending to be you, right? Why are you asking me this via text when we're all in the same house? You can come up to my room and ask me to my face if you really want to know. In fact, do that right now. I want to talk to you right this second. In the meantime, I'm going to call my friend and have him bring his truck over. Tell your husband and children that they need to pack up all their things right now. But why would you do that? Why do you need to call your friend and ask him to bring his truck over? I don't understand. I already told you why. It's so that he can take all your crap out of my house. So then you're really serious? You're going to choose Amy over your other daughter, all your grandchildren? Do you think it's easy to get 4 children to pack up all their things and move all the way over here? We just got here. I don't care if you moved in here with a whole football team. You are all doing nothing but causing chaos and making a mess of my home, and I'm furious with you. Why are you even coming back if you're not going to do anything to help me out? I was happy to be here with your dad and Amy. But I really didn't know that. I thought that Amy was just being a parasite. I thought you would have liked to be with the family. You mean you thought you could just do this without even asking me about it first? I thought it would be a nice surprise for you, is all. Besides, I never once told you that you would be allowed to live here, and had you asked, I still would have said now. Please, you can't kick us out though. We already canceled the lease on our old place, and we don't have anywhere else to go. Well, it sounds to me like that's a problem for you and your husband to figure out amongst yourselves. But I want you all out of my house, and if you don't leave, I will make you two leave. Do you understand me? Now, I'm going to put your sister back on while I call my friend. I'm serious. If you don't start backing up right now, we will just start throwing your things outside. But you can't do that to me. It isn't fair. I was just trying to think of my family. You can understand that, right?
Hello, Joanne? It's Amy again. Well, I guess this is what you get for trying to kick me out of Mom and Dad's place without even talking to them about it first.
This isn't fair. How could Mom do this to me? I can't help if that's what she wants. I don't mind helping at all.
I really don't think that Mom wants any help from you or your children or your husband at all. I mean, do you even know the first thing about nursing?
Well, I bet I could figure it out.
And you're really just taking our own mom's life into your hands like that? You really are one of the most selfish people that I have ever met. Do you know that? I wasn't just living with Mom and Dad because I didn't have anywhere else to go. I literally went to nursing school. I learned about elder care. I have skills that they need. I wasn't being a parasite either. Mom and Dad and I had a deal where I could live with them in exchange for taking care of them like I had been.
But I thought that you were just trying to kiss up to Mom and Dad so that they would give you more of their inheritance.
If you think you're getting a penny of that at all now, then you really do need to talk to Mom. She's telling me that she's going to call her lawyer next and have you taken out of her will.
What? Would she really do that? But that isn't fair.
Also, she said if you don't start packing up your things right now, that she would call the cops and force you all out.
Oh no! How did this all come to this? This isn't fair!
In the end, Joanne and her family were able to pack up their bags and get her family moved out of Mom and Dad's place. Although her husband was furious with her, and I heard that they were going to get a divorce. After hearing about that, however, I decided to block Joanne on everything and have done my best to avoid hearing about her ever since. At this point, I just hope that her kids turn out okay with such a wreck of a mother. As for my parents and I, we decided that it would be better to move somewhere new where Joanne couldn't find us, and with more amenities for my parents. I heard that you and your husband both work jobs, right, Tina? Good evening, Lori. We do both work at the same time, but what does that have to do with you? I feel so sorry for you guys. That must mean that one or both of you doesn't bring in enough income for your family, right? What are you talking about right now? I'm not wrong, am I? If your husband was able to work a job that allowed him to support both you and him, he wouldn't be asking for you to work as well, right?
So if he's not able to bring in that kind of money, does this mean that your husband is at the lowest position in the company he works for? I should have known that you'd start to be rude to me again today. I'm sorry, Lori, but this time your hopes of my husband being garbage or something like that won't be coming true. My husband is neither working in the lowest position within the company, nor is he making a salary that can't support the both of us. Is that what you think then, Tina? Because I'm not sure you're 100% aware of everything going on with him. I think I am aware, considering I'm his wife. But one thing that I'm not aware of is just how much he's making. What? In other words, your husband is not willing to tell you the amount he's making? Are you sure that he's not trying to hide something very important from you there? I don't have a good feeling about any of that. The way he's hiding the amount he makes from you, it tells me that he's not making enough money right now. Well, he and I have a way of living our lives that's probably different from yours, so please don't feel obligated to say anything else about it. And know that he's not trying to hide anything from me. And another thing, the reason I'm working a job is because I like the company I work for and want to continue being a part of them. And if something were to happen in our lives that needed one of us to stop working, I feel we'd both continue to be financially safe. What are you going on about? I know that it must be so difficult for you two to live as moneyless lowlives. Can you please stop acting as though he and I are without money right now? So you guys aren't going to be having a wedding because of your tight pockets right now? What? We still plan to have our wedding. You should have already gotten the invitation in the mail about our wedding coming up soon, right? Oh, that was meant to be a serious invitation? I thought that you and your husband were just trying to play around with us. What do you mean by that, Lori? Well, the fact that you're both moneyless yet are planning to have a wedding at the wedding hall as gorgeous as that is just a dead giveaway that you're joking about the wedding. Do you think you'll have the money to afford a place like that? That invitation was not sent out to everyone as some sort of prank. And as for getting a reservation at a place like that for the wedding, we happened to get some help from one of my husband's friends from his work. He was able to get us a spot at a place as beautiful as that, so both my husband and I are really looking forward to our special day. Well, it would be just wonderful if you guys could end up actually giving that wedding. It would be just fantastic to see two moneyless losers become happy at a wedding like that. Could you please start lightening up on the amount of insults you throw at us? Now, thank you for texting me today. I have work to get back to, so I'll be going.
Are you actually planning on having this wedding?
What? Now even you're going to start talking to me about my wedding?
Well, if you're hoping to get any money or gifts from us, then you should stop all of that. Hearing about some moneyless lowlives like you guys throwing a wedding is crazy. Not even I am able to imagine what one would have to do to borrow enough money for a place like that.
Hold on, Wyatt. Why are you saying rude things like that now? This to me looks like a textbook case of your wife brainwashing you, but she really did a number on you making you talk that way about me and my husband. I do remember you and Lori never coming to meet my husband before we were married, but still.
Well, from what I can see, whatever money you do have left is going to be wasted on that wedding if you go through with it. Well,
why are you saying that? Even my husband said that he really wants to talk with you.
I don't have the time or want to talk with someone like him about anything. I already know for a fact that man of yours is good for nothing, just based off the fact that he's making you work a job as well instead of being his housewife. I feel as though your marriage isn't going to make it very far, so there's no point in me wasting time getting to know him. When a man has little money, their chances of being divorced go way up. So I'm betting that'll be coming really soon for him.
You're being a jerk right now, Wyatt. It's fine with you giving small jabs at us here and there because you're my brother, but recently you've really been taking it too far.
Ever since you ended up marrying that Lori chick, you've changed for the worst. For now, can you at least try and hide that ugly face of yours until after we have our wedding? Because if you come to the wedding acting like that, you'll regret it more than you'll find it acceptable. Today's the day of your wedding, right, Tina? But unfortunately for you, my husband and I do not have the time to be coming to a wedding for two measly lowlifes right now. What? I know it's only a few minutes before the start of your wedding, but we're canceling. What are you going on about now, Lori? I'm talking about how my husband and I will both be taking the day off from your wedding. We feel that being there to give you guys money or a gift would be a huge waste of our own time and money. What? So you want to tell me that right now of all times? I know that you're having a great time telling me that right before the start of my special day, but you're going to regret not showing up today. Well, both Wyatt and I do not want to attend the wedding of a couple of losers. I know it's only a few minutes out, but he and I are canceling. Then you're no longer allowed inside the wedding hall anymore. I was never planning on coming. And when I say you're no longer allowed in, I mean that very personally. Even if you do come out here and try getting in through the doors, we'll have them locked. Just as you've said yourself, there is no need for a couple like you to be here at a loser's wedding to give them any gifts or money. So don't worry about the late notice. Goodbye. What the heck, Tina? Is your wedding already started now? What is it that you want from me now? The wedding is already starting, so please don't waste any more of my time. Right now, both Wyatt and I are coming out there. We'll be at the wedding hall in a little bit here. Even if the two of you are crying your hearts out to be let into the wedding hall today, I'll make sure that you're both kept outside. Huh? Why would you do that? It hasn't even been an hour yet since I told you that I'd never be letting you into the wedding hall, and you've already forgotten that? You told me you were fine with that, and that's why you're not going to be let in now. So please, stay the hell away from here. That's not what any of this is about right now. Things have changed for the both of us. Wyatt just received a call a little bit ago from his boss. Oh, well, I was thinking about how something like that would probably happen soon. My husband is the CEO of a very well-regarded company, and a lot of other companies' leaders are at the wedding right now. And my brother's company is a partner to my husband's, and so a lot of his company's higher-ups are here right now attending the wedding. Why did you never tell either one of us something as important as that before? Normally anyone would say something like that to everyone around them. And right now, information like that is the most important thing for my husband and I to know about. Why is it that important for you two to know? Because those leaders, his bosses, are the ones that will be promoting him soon to a much better position. And all of them being at the wedding today means he'll have the perfect chance to sit down with them all and talk more about personal things, right? Well, from what I've heard, this was supposed to be the perfect occasion for both my brother and my husband to talk over different things regarding their partnership, right? What? Well, that's just too bad now. We've already told everyone that you both looked down on us, thinking we were without any money, so those talks won't be happening. You're telling me that the CEO of the company that my husband's been working with wanted to talk with him today? That means today is the only chance for Wyatt. You let us into that wedding hall right now. But I already told you it's too late now. Why is it too late? You must really not be aware of the problems you've created for yourself with the way you've treated my husband and I, huh? The CEO of the company that Wyatt's been working with this whole time is the same man you both continued to call a lowlife and moneyless for making me work a job as well while married. But at the time, I had no clue about that. That would have been the perfect time for you to tell me that he's the CEO of that company and that you both really do have money.
All you have to say to me was that your husband is a CEO, and that would have ended everything I was saying. Then we never have to be asking you to let us into the wedding, and Wyatt could be discussing the next deal with your husband. You were the ones that called him a moneyless lowlife because I never wanted to be a housewife. There was never going to be a stop to what you were saying about us had I told you he's a CEO. Well, at this point, it's all impossible to change. So sorry that you lost the one and only chance to have your husband look good in front of all his superiors. Anyway, I have a wedding to get going with, so I'll talk to you another time. Wait, Tina! Even Wyatt is telling me that he had no clue that your husband is the CEO of that company. We had both never known about what your husband did for a living, and so there was no reason for us to act any other way than we had. I'm not sure what you mean by all of that, but what was your goal in talking to me the way you had been and treating my husband like he was nothing? I have no plans of letting you two into the wedding now. After all, you guys were the ones to cancel on us, right? And we had canceled before learning about what all was going to happen at the wedding today. All of that has nothing to do with the way you treated us. I have no need for family that is going to treat my husband and I like we're nothing more than bags of trash. I think I'm going to use this event as a way to finally cut ties with both you and Wyatt. I understand just how angry you are with us right now and why that is. But can you at least let my husband into the wedding hall? He's your own brother, Tina. Give him the chance to get his well-deserved promotion. I will not. What? Why not? Do you not feel bad for what you're doing to your brother right now? And I'd like to ask the same thing of him after the way he treated my husband and I. What? I want to know if he feels bad for calling his sister's husband a lowlife, and if he feels anything at all for canceling on our wedding. Honestly, he isn't even family to me anymore after what he pulled today. Did he really think it was a good idea to wait until the last moment to tell me that he was going to stay away from my wedding and call me moneyless? Well, I was the one that told you that, not him. Well, before this, I had invited the both of you out to see my husband and get to know him before we married. My husband had really wanted to meet the both of you back then. I think he knew that my brother was working with his company as partners, and he wanted to get him into a position with more responsibilities, but also more pay. But my brother gave the excuse that coming out to see my husband would be a waste of his time and money and never came. That's what my brother chose, not you. But had you told him that your husband is the CEO, then everything would be different now, right? All you needed to say was that your husband is the CEO. I didn't want my brother coming out to see my husband because of his chance of a promotion, though. I wanted him coming out to meet my husband because he's my family, and that would be the right thing to do. I knew that Wyatt would have to give up some of his time to come out and see us, but had he come, we would have told him then about how my husband's the CEO of the company he works with. But Wyatt chose to never come out and see his family, so that's that. This is all on him now, and he's responsible for not being allowed into my wedding anymore. No matter how much you both try to get yourselves let into my wedding, no matter how much your husband's promotion rides on it, you're not allowed in. You're going to act like this just because he never came out to see your husband before you married him? It's not just because of that, Lori. Before Wyatt was married to you, he was never that serious about his time and money. But now that you're his wife, he's changed into someone that's stingy and very judgmental of others based off of their income. He is always complaining about things, and it makes me miss my brother when he was single. Don't tell me that you only see my brother as your wallet, and that's why he's become so worried about money. That is not the problem at hand right now. Can't you see that the both of us have rushed all the way out here now because we see how serious the situation is now? Would you please let us in there so that we can be a part of the wedding? I'm telling you that you're both being pains in my butt. I'm no longer in the state of mind where I want to support the two of you any longer. So I'm not going to be letting either one of you into my wedding hall. What? You have to be lying, right? We are already waiting outside the main entrance to the wedding hall. There's a security guard standing at the door, and no matter how many times we tell him that Wyatt is your brother, he won't budge. Yeah, that's because I told him that's fine. The security guard is not to let either of you in. I don't think he'll be letting you anywhere near that door today. Now, I am in the middle of my wedding, so good day to you both. And, you can start thinking of me as a complete stranger now, so goodbye forever. Why did you not let either one of us into your wedding? Right now, Wyatt is pissed at me for everything and saying that I'm the only one to blame. He says that I began to talk way too much and ended up getting ourselves locked out. Well, there is that. But you could just explain to him that this also falls on his shoulders for tagging along with you and making fun of my husband and I and canceling on the wedding. Tell him that he's to blame just as much as you are because he allowed himself to be brainwashed by you. Well, either way, we're pretty much at that point now where I can say I'm cutting ties with the both of you. What? What are you talking about, Tina? I'm in a huge fight now with Wyatt because of what you did to us. You left us outside the wedding hall all day, so can you at least help me get out of this now? Huh? What makes you think you can ask me for help after all you've done? It's because of you and that wedding that my husband and I's relationship is going to fall apart. You're the only one that's able to fix things between us now after all of that. And I bet if you have your husband come as well and talk business with Wyatt, that Wyatt will begin to calm down more and start being nice to me again. Do you think you can do that for the both of us? I'm so glad that you still haven't learned anything from this and are coming to me asking for help. Makes me feel like I am better than you now. What do you mean? It's nothing. Just know that both my husband and I are finished with you both. No, what? Are you actually being serious about cutting ties with us both? Well, right now all I can see is a brother who doesn't even care enough about his little sister to come to her wedding and is viewed by all his superiors as an absolute screw-up. And my husband has already cut ties with you two, so there's really no need for me to talk with either of you anymore. Make sure to tell Wyatt that my husband is no longer willing to put in a good word for him either, so consider that promotion gone. What the hell, Tina? Are you really planning to let your own brother and I just crash like this? Do you and your husband not feel that you've gone way too far now? Wyatt has nothing to do with us anymore. He's just a stranger now. The weight that comes with making fun of my husband is very heavy. And we're going to make sure that after today, we never have to hear from or see either of you two again. And if your husband is to lose his position working with my husband's company for good, then you'll never have anything to do with us. Lose his position? Do you really think that Wyatt will be demoted over something like this? I never thought that the talks he was supposed to have at that wedding were so important. I'm sure that when his pay is cut with the demotion, you living as his housewife will no longer work anymore. And from that point on, you'll no longer think about calling other couples that work jobs at the same time lowlifes ever again, right? Poor things, you two. Now, enjoy whatever dwindling days you have left as a housewife, okay? You did a great job this time, and I hope you enjoy the life of being moneyless and depressed. And just as Tina had been explaining to Lori, her husband gave Wyatt's bosses a bad word about him, and he lost his position making deals with Tina's husband's company. Following that, he was then demoted to working the front desk of the office building, and would be given a major pay cut with that. Because of that, he was no longer bringing in enough money for himself and Lori, which led to her then having to find a job as well. This then led to their relationship becoming increasingly strained as they spent day after day fighting one another. I'm sure that soon those two will begin to consider getting a divorce, but if that is to happen, Wyatt will be left with no wife, no sister, and a rather sad job.
And as for Lori, well, I'm not really sure if she'll be left with much either, but that's totally okay.